As I walked into the dimly lit room, the air grew heavy with an eerie tension. It was my birthday, and I had decided to spend it alone in the old creaky house that had been in my family for generations. It was a tradition of sorts, one that my ancestors had passed down for centuries, spending their birthdays in this very house. Little did I know that this year, the tradition would take a terrifying turn. The room was adorned with flickering candles, casting long, eerie shadows on the faded wallpaper. The clock on the wall ticked away the seconds, each one echoing like a distant, ominous heartbeat. I shivered, feeling a sudden chill crawl down my spine. As I approached the antique mirror that hung on the wall, I caught a glimpse of my reflection. My face was pale, and my eyes were filled with an unease that I couldn't quite shake. I tried to reassure myself that it was just the setting, the eerie ambience of the old house playing tricks on my mind. I decided to distract myself with some cake, hoping that sugar would lift my spirits. The cake, however, had a sinister aura of its own. It sat on the dining table covered in thick, dark frosting that seemed to ooze like tar. I picked up the knife, its blade cold against my fingers, and cut a slice. But as I did, the cake seemed to bleed, dark red filling oozing out like a grotesque wound. I dropped the knife in horror, the cake returning to its normal state as if nothing had happened. Shaken, I stumbled back from the table, my heart pounding in my chest. This couldn't be real, I thought. It had to be some bizarre birthday prank, but the fear in my gut refused to subside. As I made my way through the house, each room seemed to hold its own malevolent secrets. The portraits of my ancestors that lined the hallways seemed to watch me, their eyes following my every move. The whispers of the past echoed in my ears, voices from a time long gone, filled with sorrow and despair. I reached the attic, a place I had always been told to avoid. But on this eerie birthday, curiosity got the better of me. The attic door creaked open, revealing a space that was frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture and forgotten relics of the past lay strewn about, but what caught my eye was an old, weathered journal. I picked it up and began to read, my hands trembling. The journal belonged to my great-great-grandmother, and its pages told a tale of a dark family secret. It spoke of a curse that had plagued our bloodline for generations, a curse that required a sacrifice on one's birthday to appease the malevolent spirits that haunted the house. My heart raced as I realized the truth. I had been lured here on my birthday to fulfill the curse tradition, to become the sacrifice that would finally free my family from the torment that had plagued us for so long. The walls seemed to close in around me as I frantically searched for a way out. But escape was futile. The house itself seemed to conspire against me, its corridors shifting and twisting like a labyrinth. The whispers grew louder, the portraits more sinister. I was trapped, and there was no way out. As the clock struck midnight, I found myself back in the dimly lit room where it all began. The candles burned brighter, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. I knew what had to be done. With trembling hands, I took up the knife once more, its cold blade sending shivers down my spine. With a heavy heart, I cut the cake again, watching as it bled like before. But this time, I didn't drop the knife. I raised it to my own throat, tears streaming down my face. It was a horrifying choice, but it was the only way to break the curse, to end the torment that had plagued my family for generations. As I plunged the knife into my own flesh, the room filled with a chorus of malevolent laughter. The shadows converged, enveloping me in darkness. And in that moment, I knew that my sacrifice had appeased the spirits that had haunted us for so long. The curse was broken, but at a terrible cost. My vision faded as I gasped my last breath, and the room fell silent. The house, it seemed, had finally claimed its birthday offering, and I became just another ghost in the long line of tormented souls that had called it home.